So I just received a box of comics that are incredible. I don't know if you've ever seen a comic online and you're like, that's a really cool cover. I want to get it. And then it shows up and it's actually better than you thought it would be. That's what I'm about to show you. If you want to see, stay tuned to the video. Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my videos. In this video, we are just going to do a straight haul of some awesome books that literally just arrived a short while ago. And I don't have to process these books because they are all recent books that I've basically read. And so the only thing that makes these books special, and I probably shouldn't say the only thing, what makes these books really special is that all of them are a fantastic read, but then there are also some really cool covers. And so I literally have a nice stack of variants over here. So we're going to run through this thing, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this artwork as much as I'm actually enjoying it. So the first book that I want to show you is one that you've probably already seen before. I've actually spoken about this one already. This is Wolverine versus Blade. This is actually the one shot that came out not that long ago, where we all were speculating that Michael Jai White might actually be named as the new Blade. This was maybe 2 weeks before San Diego Comic-Con, and they announced that, yeah, it's not Michael Jai White, but this is still a really cool read. I picked up the other version of this book, the regular like A cover when it first dropped. Fantastic comic. This is the variant featuring some really nice artwork as well. What I really like about this one is that that's basically Wolverine in his X-Force uniform, which I really dug. I always like that version of his uniform. It's basically like a black and gray uniform that I really get a kick out of. So definitely pleased to have this variant in the collection. So we'll set that one off to the side if I can find a good place to put it. And the next stack of books, they are going to get like progressively better. Each one is really fantastic, but they're going to get incrementally better as we go through the stack. This first one is Powers of X #1. This is actually the 1 in 25 variant. Really cool cover here. And again, this is one of those ones that you see online, but then you really start to dig it. And part of it is that with this one, this is actually the Rasputin character that we didn't know much about in the beginning. It wasn't until this issue that we actually learned a little bit about who she was, which is basically a mutant that was created by Mr. Sinister. She's a combination, I think, of 5 other mutants, including one with Omega level powers. This is a cool cover. This is definitely a cool cover. So that is the 1 in 25. This next one is House of X #1, and this is actually a 1 in 50 variant. Really cool cover featuring Marvel Girl and Cyclops right there. Definitely a cool book. I dig this one. This is them basically on Krakoa. It is almost like a rustic kind of book. I definitely dig this one. Definitely dig this book. The next one, I think the next 2 are actually hidden gems. From this first one is Powers of X #1, and this is a hidden gem. This is a 1 in 100 variant. As you guys know, I am all about House of X and Powers of 10 right now. So I'm really digging these covers, but also the story that is inside these books. This next one again is another hidden gem. This is House of X #1, a Dave Cockrum here. This is another 1 in 100 variant. Definitely a cool cover right here. I really dig these, man. These hidden gem covers are really fun pieces of artwork. This next one, I actually saw this one in the Seeds of Tomorrow book that they released for free a couple of new comic book days ago. And I think it said, beware of the future, I think is what the headline said down at the bottom, like beware of the future. And then maybe it said July or something like that. This is just a gorgeous cover featuring some awesome characters. This is actually a 1 in 200 variant. I believe that this one is the House of X. Believe that that's what this is, but definitely a 1 in 200 variant. You have Charles and Magneto and Apocalypse and Mr. Sinister and Sebastian Shaw. I mean, this thing is incredible. I mean, the sunshine that is coming out over here and the rays that are just raining, just really awesome cover. Really awesome cover. It almost looks three-dimensional with the way that the light is shining down. This is a really, really well done cover, I have to tell you. Just gorgeous. Next up, we start to get into some more exclusive stuff. Like we've seen the 1 in 20, the 1 in 50, the 1 in 100, the 1 in 200. But these are some really cool books. And what makes these extra special for me is that I was actually able to get a preview of these comics back when they were just sketches. And it's really cool to have seen them months ago as sketches and now to see them as an actual comic in my hand. It's really cool. And I actually have 2 copies of each one of the next 4 books that I'm about to show you. This is the trade dress version of House of X #1. Really cool cover here. This is actually limited to only 600 copies, and this is an exclusive comic from IG Comic Store. A really cool cover here by Adi Granoff. He actually did these. And if you like this cover, if you like this one, then you really have to like this one, because this is the virgin. No trade dress to get in the way, just nothing but amazing artwork for this comic. And this one is actually limited to 400 copies of this comic. This thing is fantastic. This one is really, really fantastic. And this is Storm, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Wolverine, Havoc, and they're standing on top of basically a Sentinel head. That one's awesome. This next one is another Adi Granoff and another exclusive from IG Comic Store. This one features Magneto and a host of other folks here. This thing's dope. This is a dope one. This is also the trade version of Powers of X. And you guys know red is my favorite color, so I definitely dig this one. And this one is limited, like the other, to 600 copies, but definitely a really cool cover right here. And then the very last book, as you would imagine, is the same book, but the Virgin. Just nice. I mean, this thing is incredible. And this one is actually limited to 400 copies. And what I can tell you is that I've looked at these books pretty carefully since they arrived, and they are all just in pristine shape. Every single one of these books that just showed up came from IG Comic Store. And a lot of people have been asking me, because I've spoken about it in previous videos, where I'm like, hey, somebody is sending me 9.8 candidate quality books. And I've had several people kind of ask where, and I've told them, IG Comic Store. These guys do such a fantastic job of hand selecting comics and sending them out. That's not to say that every book is perfect, that every book is a 9.8, but consistently I've had books show up that are really, really high quality that I've honestly just taken and sent right off to CGC, and they've come back as 9.8s. And if you paid attention to my recent unboxings on the channel, you know that there was a huge box of 9.8s that came back, and all of those Dale Ottos were actually from IG Comic Store. And so if you guys are looking for some cool books, this is a really good place to go. But I'm super excited about these because I am really all about the House of X and Powers of 10, and I am really pleased to not only be enjoying those stories, but also be enjoying these fantastic covers. So with that, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you did, I definitely want to encourage you to hit the subscribe button so that you can stay abreast of all the content that I release on a weekly basis. If you need to reach out to me, feel free to do so. RegieCollects on Instagram and RegieCollects@gmail.com. Take care.